It is a Wednesday edition. Yeah, kind of different hat today. Wednesday edition of Red Sox Now. It's presented by Fan Arts here on YouTube. I'm your host, Mike Antonellis. I was with the Worcester Red Sox on Tuesday night on radio. I want to give a quick update for Wilyer Abreu, who went 1 for 4 and looked very good at the plate. He had an RBI hit, but his swings hit the ball hard. Almost hit a home run to left field, but he looked good. And he should be back on Friday night. That's what Alex Cora told WEEI. So on Wednesday night at Polar Park, Tanner Houck goes for Worcester. Max Scherzer pitches for Buffalo. That is a major league rehab dream, and that will happen. And it all works out if you're a Red Sox fan in this region because you get the Red Sox at 4 and the Woo Sox at 6:45. Before we continue, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment on the channel, and follow me on socials at the Radio Mike. We're building that TikTok page up. Pretty cool. If you want any of my links, just go to Radio Mike on X, and I have a link tree. It'll get you everywhere. Get everywhere. All right. You can't win them all. The streak ends at 6, and this is how things happen, right? Baseball is so up and down. Rafael Devers gets 2 hits in his debut, and you get 2 hits on the night. That's how things work. This was a sports talk radio dream because, you know, they're going to be all over that today. The hits came from Nate Eaton and Marcelo Meyer. And Brian Wu was great, and he's a good arm for Seattle. That's why Seattle's not giving up these arms. I know they're not hitting, but 7 scoreless, 1 hit. Walker Buehler had no command from the get-go. 8 runs, 3 1/3, including that grand slam with 2 outs to the guy, Cal Raleigh, who leads baseball in homers with 27. Raleigh knocked in 6 of the 8. Now, Seattle, they've had a couple grand slams this week. They really have struggled to hit, but not this guy, Raleigh. And it'll be interesting to see what they do because they really want to bat, but are they willing to give up any of their arms? I don't know. If I'm them, I wouldn't do that, depending, of course, what you get back. That's all, predicated on that. So the series is tied at 1. The Red Sox are 38 and 37, and Seattle is 37 and 35. I mean, it is early to look at standings, but it's still good to be in the thick of the wild card as we're getting to that halfway point. It's coming up. Red Sox at 75 games, 6 away from the halfway point, and they're now a half game back. I mean, it's a big jumble right now. Toronto, Tampa Bay, Seattle lead the wild card. You've got Cleveland, Boston, Minnesota, Texas, the Angels, and Kansas City. 6 teams on the outside separated by 2.5 games. And then 2 games if you talk about trying to chase Seattle. That is pretty remarkable. Yankees lost again. They're 5 back. And the Rays are only 2.5 games out of first place. And Toronto is only 3 back. So Red Sox 5.5. So the AL East has been, I think, a lot better than expected from people when they were talking about, everyone does this with the Rays. They're going to stink, and then they end up not. All right, I think I'm kind of in the minority with the bullpen. I think from start to finish, and I'm meaning from game 1 through last night, the bullpen has been pretty darn consistent for me all year, considering they've had to do things like this. They had to go 4 2/3 last night, and they went 1 hit ball. Kelly, Bernardino, Alcala made his debut, looked really good. Alcala threw 15 pitches, 10 strikes, and Guerrero closed it out. They gave up a couple walks. They struck out 4, but they kind of put a Band-Aid on that, where you were able to use those 4 guys that aren't your high-leverage guys in that game last night, and they were able to get through it and get you through today. And so I give them a lot of credit. And why? See, we talk about a game leading into next game, and why is that all good? It's because this guy has the ball for the series win. And the ultra confidence that you have when he is on the bump, I think to me it's off the charts. Every time Garrett Crochet takes the mound, there's an ease about me that doesn't worry. That's what these guys, and they're hard to find, and that's when you had a chance to get a guy like this, you had to jump all over it. I feel like today, again, the Red Sox could score 2 runs and win this game easily. You can't say that about many starters in the game, not just on this team, but in the game. And that's how I feel. And this will be his 4th road start out of his last 5. But you just feel like he will give you an unbelievable outing every time. He's given up 5 earned runs and 4 earned runs twice. 4 earned runs to Seattle back on April 24th. 5 to the Yankees. Then the Yankees game, you ended up winning that game. The game on April 24th, you lost 4-3, and he gave up all the runs over 5. And that was a game he was really not sharp. He really wasn't. But that's actually good, having him go today after a team he struggled against. And there's just no panic when this guy's on the mound. And this is why you brought this guy in. And this would be perfect before an off day. Red Sox and Mariners will play at 4:10, actually. This is great. This is perfect for those people who work, who get to come home. So you work 9 to 5, you get to see the second half of it. Now, Luis Castillo throws for Seattle. He's good. Crochet is 6-4 with a 2.24 ERA. And Castillo, 4-4, 3.29 ERA. I know I don't like saying big games, but this is a big series win. You win this series, you pass Seattle again, you are back in that wild card lead after series 1 of 3 on this long trip. You got to you win this series, you're feeling great, and then Friday night you're in San Francisco against Devers. How crazy is that? How that all worked out. Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday game is at 4 as well. Saturday and Sunday at 4 to wrap that up. All right. I talked about the right-handed bat for the Red Sox during the trade deadline. I still think that's something they will explore. I think there's no doubt a extension with Bregman is going to happen. I do want to bring up the Devers thing. One thing about it, because I listened to Alex Corey yesterday in WEEI, and I thought he said something telling that I hope people picked up on. He said he got to camp earlier this year than ever to talk to Devers about everything. And it was Devers' camp that wasn't behind this. And I know this from experience that agents can get involved in this stuff. And if they tell the client they're disrespecting you and all that, they're going to start thinking that. It's pretty obvious that there was a lot of friction, but in this stuff I think goes even before that, before the Bregman. I don't think it was just the Bregman stuff, and we'll find out at some point. But to replace Devers, Arizona is key, like I talked about on the Monday edition. If they fall out of it, they've got Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez. If the right-handed bat is not something you think you need, because Bregman's going to come back and be a right-handed bat, is Josh Naylor a guy instead of Suarez? Naylor has an expiring contract, having a real good year, or a Ryan McMahon in Colorado. It all depends. I don't see Arizona falling out of it, but they did lose Corbin Burns. But over the next couple of weeks, it's really weird how trade partners have to line up, right? It has to just kind of work out where Arizona, that is 3 games out, they have to kind of fall out of this race. And will they? If they don't, they're going to buy. Atlanta's an interesting team. They're 6.5 back of a wild card. What do they do? Is there someone on that team? Ozuna? Or do you just try to, find someone that's going to be a low investment? Ryan McMahon from the Rockies, obviously, a team that has 16 wins. They've actually won 3 in a row. So over the next couple of weeks, we got to see what happens to these teams on the field to determine what trades will be made. And we hope the Red Sox are still in a position to buy. And I think they're going to try to do some stuff before the deadline. I think they would have to improve their offense because we're not sure when Bregman's going to come back. All right, that's going to wrap it up for a Wednesday edition of Red Sox Now. Mike Antonellis. It's presented by Fan Arch here on YouTube. Have a great day. Go Red Sox. They go for the series win later today against Seattle.